against those idiots. Calm down, Sango. It's not that serious. Yes, every chance of defeat is a chance to learn. You guys sound pathetic. Oh yeah? What did you do in the fight? You didn't even show up, TD3. Oh, I took care of my nemesis. Just give it a few. While I was posing as him, I left him a little special present. Alright, I've missed a lot of episodes and I got a lot of work to... What? Wait a minute. What's that beeping I've been hearing all day? Oh. Oh no. So, guys, bad news. Yeah, we lost. Our ship got totally destroyed. Yeah, and in addition to that, my equipment just got destroyed. So, what are we doing now? Well, you all are going to school so that they can learn terrestrialization. Why do I gotta go? Because you gotta go and figure some things out as well. Plus, their adventure is the most important right now, which means you have to record all of that information and review it for viewing pleasure. I guess, but we have to go to school for that? What's the problem? Oh, I know this one. Tyrone dropped out of school before. Hey, what did you dropped out, Tyrone? All right, it was in Alola. It was during the Sun and Moon stuff. I just didn't want to do the reviews of that series anymore. Well, this will give you a chance to actually commit, face your fears, and tackle your enemies. Oh, fine. Then I guess I'm going back to school. Why? Well, let's go. Hello, everybody. Tyrone TG3 here. Pokemon Horizons. So, I have a lot to catch up on Pokemon Horizons. So many episodes have passed since then. And that's not even to say, oh, Pokemon Horizons just doesn't have that same catch. I wanted to dive into this season a little bit, give it some time to simmer. And part of that was I was very engrossed in streaming and doing my 2 jobs. So when I delved into all of that, obviously, a lot of it got put on the back burner. But we're back, baby. Pokemon Horizons with the terrestrial debut season, or I call it the Naranja season. So we've got not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 4, but 5 episodes to review today, because those episodes all follow the same chunk, which I like to call the basic test arc. So we've got episode 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50 to review. Episode 46 is titled How Thrilling Naranja Academy. Episode 47 is Liko and Florgato, Put All Your Heart Into It. Episode 48, Shine, The Glimmer of Fire and Art. Episode 49, Dot and Nidothing. And episode 50, Terrestrialize for Social Media. Dance, Quaxley. So, let's get into it. Episode 46 was them getting introduced to Naranja Academy. I'll give us a brief plot summary as I physically can. But to go through all of these, essentially, when Dot, Liko, and Roy all go to Naranja Academy officially, they're exchange students, and they even meet up with Liko's friend, Anne. And Anne has evolved her Oshawott into Dewott, which is really cool to see. And they even have a nice Pokemon battle. Honestly, the Pokemon battle they had was pretty good, all things considered. But that does dive into a little bit of my issues with Liko and Florgato. But I'll talk about them when I talk about that next episode. Anyway, they learn that they have to take a basic test. Now, with the basic test, they all get assigned a specific gym leader. I'm not sure what they're basing it off of, but they all get assigned a specific gym leader. They battle the gym leader to do their terrestrialization test, and when they do, their job is to pass the test. It's not even necessarily to win the battle, it's to pass the test, right? I'm a little bugged by that too, but again, I'll get into that later. So one of the things we see is Nimona has shown up and her Palmo has evolved into Palmot. And the running joke there is that every time that Nimona is about to battle Roy, the battle gets interrupted in some way, shape, or form, at least in that episode. Like there's always like a class that's about to start or something's about to take place that interrupts the battle. That's the whole running joke with Nimona, which was pretty funny, I guess. Not bad. But overall, then Dot, Liko, and Roy get to travel around Paldea in order to take their test. Now, I love this. Honestly, this formula is really good considering that this is a break season. This is a season for them to lick their wounds, learn more about terrestrialization, train, get stronger, then head back to the Brave Asagi in order to go back and do their gathering of the Pokemon necessary to complete the Terapagos venture. Like, it's very necessary for this season, and it's good character growth and development and all of that. My issue, at least with these 5 episodes, I'm sure that people are going to tell me, oh, they fixed this problem later, but as of right now, this is an issue based on what it's laid out. The point of the test is that they all go to different cities in order to fight the gym leaders. My issue is each test happens one after another. That's my problem. This was a great formula. Have Dot, Liko, and Roy travel around the Paldea region and then take their test in the middle of all of that. They even get the perfect excuse to dilly-dally. Professor Clavel and the guy who makes the Pokédex, I can't remember his name right now, but they literally go, while you're on your journey, go look at wild Pokemon so you can do your report when you come back to the academy. Excellent! You have an excellent in-universe reason to dilly-dally. So do it! Like, this is bugging me that they go straight from town after town. Literally, they're in the bug area town where it says Cecile or whatever her name is, or Katie. They're in the Katie's town, and then right after that they're in Brassis's town, and then right after that they're in Ayano's town. Like, no, don't do that. Have them go to one town, do the test, then they can have a couple of episodes where they chill. They're absorbing nature, they're fixing a Pokemon quandary, or like something that happens, or meet up with a Pokemon, or battle some wild Pokemon, catch some Pokemon if they have to. You have the formula. It's the formula. It's literally the formula that makes most Pokemon animes, or at least Ash Ketchum's journey in the anime. You have it now. You have the excuse. You got Dot, Liko, and Roy traveling around the entire area. You have what you need, yet for some reason y'all chose to jump from town to town to town. And this feels more egregious when you realize, like, Ash will take, like, I don't know, 20-something episodes to get from one town to the next. Meanwhile, Dot, Liko, and Roy, even with Dot, like, tired as hell every time she's walking, they can get from city to city in an instant. And this is supposed to be the Pokemon game that allows you to travel, like, open world in the video games. Yet, meanwhile, here, they got instant transmission. They're just going everywhere, going, like, just instantly making it there. And I'm like, no, you have the one opportunity to have them go on foot. Dot even complains that we have to camp. I'm like, this is excellent, though. This gives you guys chances to, like, make up your campsite and make sandwiches in the campsite. Or, like, Dot's got to get over sleeping at night because she's so used to sleeping in her comfortable bed or something. But her Quaxley and her, like, Tinkaton will defend her or something. Or, like, it's so, like, you got all of this, yet they don't do it. In the opening, they show Dot, Liko, and Roy going through all these different terrains and walking through these different areas. I'm like, do that. Do that. But in the series, do that. Do that. Like, come on. That's my issue. My issue is they need to travel. But no, they do each and every test one after another. And I'm going to be honest, Liko and Florgado's test was probably the weakest. So we're going to get into it. I do like that they make Katie. I like that they make her a better gym leader. Because I'm going to be real with you, completely forgot her whole existence in the video game. That's not to say she's bad. she was just sadly forgettable. First of all, you made a bug-type gym leader the first gym leader, which is already a problem in the video games. Then her team is absolute garbage. Like, we did the team ranking during the stream, which you can watch that, by the way. I believe the playback might still be to that. And if it's not, then I'll definitely upload it on YouTube. But, yeah, like, Katie, yeah, I'm so glad they fixed her in the anime. In the anime, we see that she's more of a baker. They see how she bakes and stuff like that, and it's really cool. And then we also see the same running joke of Sango, my favorite character in this show, complains that she once again missed out on a limited edition baking item, and she throws a fit. It's the exact same joke as before, but it's handled a little bit better. This time they have a bake-off in order to determine, which makes sense. Liko actually did a bake-off already with Murdoch, and Murdoch's in this episode because of the baker. One thing I do love is that Horizons has made a huge palette of characters and has had each character involved with the other characters in some way. Like, for example, I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but in the next episode, when they head to Brassius's town, we see that Liko's father's there because Liko's father is an artist, and it's the art festival. But we also see that the art teacher for Mezagoza is there as well too because, well, art teacher. So it's good to see that everybody's like in that spot for a reason. They're all there at once because naturally they all connect to each other. And it makes the sense that the adults can be able to hop from place to place. They're probably using like a vehicle to go back and forth to each area. But Liko, Roy, and Dot don't need that because they're traveling on foot. So I wish they could travel on foot, not freaking teleport every damn where to the next episode. That is so jarring when you consider they literally could, like, the travel, whatever. Point is, Liko and Florgato do make a cake, and the cake winds up turning out really good, and they end up getting to fight Katie. When they end up battling Katie, Liko does terrestrialize. She has to take advantage, but I'm sorry, this kind of confirms my reason why I think that Sprigatito did not need to evolve this damn early. Its moveset is absolutely terrible. This thing knows Magical Leap and Quick Attack. Those are the only two moves that Liko has had this thing use. It doesn't even use Scratch anymore like it used to. This thing is literally only rocking two moves, and then it'll use its like Yo-Yo Bud a little bit. That's it. It's terrible. There's no strategy in this fight on Liko's half. You wonder what Liko's strategy was in this fight? Use Magical Leap. Okay, that doesn't work. Use Magical Leap more. Okay, cool. We can do like that. That's it. That's the only strategy they have. The only strategy is to just spam the Magical Leaf button. Like, that's so stupid. That's so stupid. I hate it. She had a better strategy when she fought off against Dua and Anne. When she fought Dua and Anne, she had a better strategy. But for some reason in this fight, she's just like, use all the Magical Leaf. Yep. And it sucks because Katie had a good strategy. If they try to get in close, then it'll use Charm to lower the physical attack. If they try to fight from a distance, then Katie will have Teddiursa use Sweet Scent. That way the Sweet Scent can immobilize Florgato long enough so that it can wind up moving in with the slash attack. A stab slash on Teddiursa. It's a good strategy. And then when it ends up terrestrializing into a bug type, it winds up using Fury Cutter, and it gets stabbed off the Fury Cutter. Realistically, Teddiursa has a good strategy going for it. Sadly, the battle resolves, and yeah, Teddiursa ends up winning the fight. But come on, Liko could have done better in the fight too. At this point, I was a little mad that they lost, considering that the whole point of the test is to pass it, but they end up losing. They still passed the test, but it still seems jarring that they lost. It makes Florgato stick out more. Because Florgato already sticks out in front of Fuecoco and Quaxley. Like, you got all three of your starter Pokemon, and literally one of them is an evolved mess so quickly for no damn reason. And evolved way too soon. And then it only shows that it evolved too soon because when it evolves, it doesn't freaking win any battles. It gets its butt kicked. And yeah, it beat Duat, fine, whatever. But it ends up losing to freaking Teddy Ursa. Like, God, for Christ's sakes. Only for Fuecoco to win in its fight next episode. It wins its fight, which I guess we can jump into. But overall, the test, fine, she passes, whatever. Fuecoco ends up fighting off against Brassius Sudowoodo yet again. Now, this time, they're able to win. Now, the whole point of the test was for Roy to become more resourceful, because earlier, we see a fight where Fuecoco loses against Palmine, because they fought Nimona. Now, it starts to rain, which honestly I do like. I like the fact that just random nature crap can happen at any point in time. I like that. I think in the video games that could happen too. So I like the fact that rain, I'm kind of weirded out that the rain straight up stops the flamethrower instead of just weakens it. But whatever. The rain comes down and Roy's like, if it wasn't for the rain, I would have won. And then Brassy is like, nope, you're just garbage. Stop. And they end up making art instead. Well, I like that Roy decides to, like, he essentially is doing, what's that when you make clay, but you put it in a little kindling. It starts with a K, but you're essentially melting the pot. You're essentially making clay and then burning it to melt it so that it can solidify itself. But that's what he winds up doing. He ends up making a statue of Charizard using all of that. I like Lico's portrait, actually. I like Lico's Arboliva picture a lot better. And it does make sense. Her father is an artist, so it's only natural she'd pick up some art talent. Dot's thing was a Ferris wheel that was made out of like metal from Tinkaton, and then the electricity she uses from Watch Rail, which I actually do like. I like the fact that Dot used someone else's Pokemon in addition to her own. I love when like traveling companions use each other's Pokemon. I don't know, like borrowing them. It makes them seem more like a family. So I do like that. So Roy ends up fighting Sudowoodo, and Fuecoco gets a lot more resourceful by using different types of tactics and tiring out Sudowoodo by spamming Stomping Tantrum and Flamethrower. At that point, then he winds up terrestrializing using Flame Charge and beats Sudowoodo. And it also makes sense because Fuecoco learned Flame Charge after Roy fought Brassius. So Brassius hadn't seen that move yet, which gave him the advantage, and Roy won. But then again, that just makes Fuecoco's win stick out more and makes Florgato look more bad in its case because the thing freaking evolved so damn soon, yet the pre-evolved Fuecoco can still manage a win off. Whatever. Last but not least, we have Dots, but they decided to split Dots into 2 episodes instead of 1. And honestly, out of all the tests and engagements, Dots is the best. She still loses, spoiler, but you're watching the review, so you know what to expect. She still loses, but honestly, I think they handled hers the absolute best. It wasn't really a battle in order to determine her and Quaxley against Bellibolt and Ayano. It was more specifically to test how Dot and Quaxley can handle themselves fighting as themselves, which realistically works. Dot's whole thing is that Nidothing has the courage to stand up against a camera because it's hidden. However, Dot does not. And there's going to be a lot of situations where Dot has to fight with other people watching her. Well, this allows her to come out of her shell and fight as her. The whole point is this episode is, can Dot handle fighting somebody who loves publicity? And can she handle any type of opponent? Well, the issue is Dot decides to compensate for this by dressing up as Nidothing and doing like these live streams all over the place. But she's forcing herself because at that point, the Nidothing outfit is giving her the confidence she needs, but she's relying on it too much. Liko completely understands that Dot and Nidothing, while they are the same person, have 2 different personalities because one is done for entertainment purposes while Dot is still a person. She's still, at the end of the day, a human being who experiences life her own way. She's different from the Nidothing character persona that she puts on. That is a mask. She needs to get out of that mask to be her real self. Obviously, that boils into the next episode. But in the first episode, Varoom winds up taking the costume and runs away with it, and Dot ends up fighting it, even while under the watchful eye of several different camera phones that bypassers see during the middle of the fight. And weirdly, the fight is really well animated, and Varun looks really good in the anime for some reason. I've gained new respect for this thing. Varun was one of those Pokemon that my brain knows exists, but slowly removed out for some reason. I guess because it didn't show up as much, and I even wanted it to be competitively viable because it seems like it would be. Sadly, it's not. I guess the type combination, for as cool as it is, just doesn't work out. It's steel/poison type, but that means it has a quad weakness to ground, probably. That's why. But anyway, while this thing ends up befriending Quaxley after their fight, Dot proves to herself that she can fight without using the Nidothing outfit, because she was technically given that opportunity to fight while being Nidothing. And as a collab, it would have been a really big stream event that would have gotten tons of views and likes and everything. But that would completely defeat the purpose. Dot's supposed to pass the test, not Nidothing. So the fight starts, and I am oddly shocked at the amount of effort they decided to put into this battle. Florgato's fight against Teddy Ursa was average, was bleh. Roy's fight against Sudowoodo was a bit better, but they decided to go all in on this fight. They decided for some weird reason to just, one, up the budget of the animation, and two, they tossed in like the Kanto Battle Theme remix and the Wild Kanto Battle Theme remix. So we get these two retro remixes randomly in this awesome, like, epic fight. And it's just like, what? Why? Why did you do this? Why did you decide to make this battle so epic? And then, like, they keep spamming water gun, and when the stream goes out due to technical difficulties, which is really convenient, when it goes out, they take the advantage to go ahead and terrestrialize. They also use the water that they sprayed from the water gun a billion times so that Quaxley can, like, slide and glide and dance around Bellibolt, and then winds up using a lot of its attacks. Essentially, though, when the stream comes back on, Ayano gets her spirit back, and then Ayano tells Bellibolt in order to terrestrialize, and they use Discharge and completely destroy Quaxley and Dot, which, electric-type Pokemon, and it's fully evolved. Even Dot points out this is a bad matchup. But overall, I think Dot losing is a little bit better because the whole point of the fight was for her to fight. And it even shows when the stream goes out, Dot's at a huge advantage because she doesn't have to worry about being watched as much, but she still battles on and doesn't lose a beat even when the lights come back on. When the lights go out, you can see Ayano is struggling. If anything, it proves that Ayano has a glaring weakness. When the cameras aren't on her, she's at her worst. She lives for this stuff. So when the cameras go out, she's effectively at a disadvantage, which is the opposite. Dot is at a disadvantage with cameras on, but now she's overcome that disadvantage, which essentially means she's lost her biggest weakness. So on an overall growth level of the fight, Quaxley and Dot have become stronger. It makes sense thematically, so I get it. Oh, also I believe Quaxley learns Aqua Step, or Aqua Break, or whatever it's called, at the end of this, so that was really cool. There's a running joke where Mr. Clavel shows up too and talks Roy and Lico's ear off, but they end up running over, and I love the way Clavel's just running. He's doing like the weird run and everything. He's great. Honestly, I love Clavel. I like the use of the teachers. We got to see Dendra towards the beginning half. I kind of wish they had showed a lot more of the teachers off in the series. But overall, that is episodes 46 through 50. Yeah, episodes 46 through 50 were really good, and I love the formula. And like I said, I know if you all are going to say this already, is that they're probably going to wind up doing some filler episodes where they travel. Yeah, but I still wish those had been in between. If they had been interwoven and the test, that would have been better. But I do like the idea of the test. I like that they're taking the test. I like that they're engaging. I like that this is a school event. I like that this trio has an objective, and I like that this trio is traveling Paldea. I like that Paldea is being like discovered and explored and represented. This is it. This is good. This is a great use of the characters, of the Pokemon, of the world building. I love all of it. I just wish they handled that pacing a little bit better, and I wish that Liko and Roy's fights were a bit better too. And I definitely wish that Liko, sadly, out of all of these three, I would have to say Liko's probably the weakest. If I had to rank her episode and her test, I would definitely say that it would probably get about a 6 out of 10. Roy's would get a 7.5 out of 10. And then Dot, with her 2 episodes, would get a 9. I would say an 8.5 out of 10. They're all really good, though. And honestly, I did enjoy this, like, test arc. I do like this test arc. I love this school arc. I want them to utilize this world and this area, these trainers and these teachers. I want them to utilize them in more creative ways. I hope this isn't just something we do real fast and then immediately leave off of. But I'm curious to see what's going to go on next. I'm going to be reviewing multiple episodes again, but for the next episode, episode 51, it is a Prickly Frogado, the Mystery Flower Pillar. So, I'll see y'all then, everybody. Have a great morning, noon, afternoon, evening, midnight, wherever you be, but have a great one. I'll see y'all then. Tyrone TG3